C. Carwood Lipton was born on January 30, 1920, in Huntington, West Virginia. His parents were Clifford Carwood and Zerelda Lipton. His father was killed, and his mother crippled in an automobile accident in 1930. Carwood attended grade school in Huntington and graduated Huntington High School in 1938. He played football and was in the Torch Honor Society. Carwood began engineering studies at Marshall College, now Marshall University, Huntington, in January 1938. But after 3 semesters, he postponed further studies because of a lack of funds. He was on the freshman football team as a right halfback. After various jobs, bucking rivets in a boiler works, selling tea door to door, and as a service station attendant, he began an apprenticeship as a machinist for International Nickel Company in Huntington, in a new, very large manufacturing facility built to produce recoil cylinders for 5 to 15-inch naval guns. On August 15, 1942, Carwood enlisted in the Army specifically for the parachute troops. He joined at Fort Thomas, Kentucky, and was sent to Camp Toombs, renamed Camp Toccoa, Georgia, where the 506th Parachute Infantry Regiment was being formed. He was assigned to Company E before qualifying as a paratrooper at Fort Benning, Georgia, in December 1942. The following month he married Alice Joanne Eckley, his steady girlfriend, in Huntington on his first leave. He served in Company E as an enlisted man in the following ranks: private beginning with his assignment to E Company, corporal beginning October 1942, sergeant beginning April 1943, staff sergeant and platoon sergeant beginning November 1943, first sergeant beginning September 1944. Carwood was discharged on February 15, 1945 in Haguenau, France, to accept a battlefield commission. He was commissioned second lieutenant on February 16, 1945 at Haguenau, and served in Company E's headquarters company, 2nd Battalion, 506th Parachute Infantry Regiment, until reversion to inactive duty at Fort Meade, Maryland, October 13, 1945. Carwood joined the Army Reserve shortly after reversion to inactive duty and served as Heavy Weapons Company Commander, 398th Parachute Infantry Regiment, 100th Airborne Division Reserve until the end of the Korean conflict. He served 2 weeks active duty each summer at Fort Campbell, Kentucky. The 100th Airborne Division was held in reserve status to be called to active duty in the event of war with Russia, which appeared imminent at that time. He also maintained a jump status. Wounds received in action: June 12, 1944, Carentan, France, mortar fire, left cheek, right wrist, right leg; January 7, 1945, Bastogne, Belgium, artillery fire, right arm; February 15, 1945, Haguenau, France, mortar fire, right cheek, back of neck; decorations received: Bronze Star Medal with oak leaf cluster, Purple Heart with 2 oak leaf clusters, Combat Infantry Badge, Presidential Unit Citation with oak leaf cluster, French Forager, a unit of the Croix de Guerre with Palm, Belgium Forager, a unit of the Croix de Guerre with Palm, the Dutch Lanyard, a unit award, Eto ribbon with 4 battle stars and 2 invasion arrowheads, parachute wings with 2 combat jump stars. Carwood participated in all campaigns with Company E, Normandy, Holland, Belgium, Haguenau, Germany, and Austria. His height and weight did not change while he was in the Army, 5 feet 8 inches and 160 pounds. However, in later life he was 2 inches shorter and 10 pounds lighter. Carwood returned to Marshall University in January 1946 and was awarded a degree of Bachelor of Engineering Science, majoring in physics, in June 1948. During senior year, he was employed part-time by the Huntington factory of Owens, Illinois, Inc. on a special engineering project. From among several opportunities after receiving his degree, he decided to accept an offer from Owens, Illinois, and began in the Huntington factory as a student industrial engineer, June 1, 1948. In November 1952, Carwood moved to the Streator, Illinois factory of Owens, Illinois, as supervisor of its industrial engineering department. In May 1955, he moved to the headquarters of Owens, Illinois, in Toledo, Ohio, as assistant manager of industrial engineering for the glass container division comprising 11 factories. In September 1958, Carwood was named manager of industrial engineering for the glass container division of Owens, Illinois. In May 1964, he moved to the Bridgeton, New Jersey factory of Owens, Illinois, as administrative manager and finished products manager. In June 1966, he transferred to the international division of the company and was sent to Spain to find and negotiate purchase of a suitable affiliate for the company in that country. He negotiated the purchase of 50% of Giro La Porta, a glass containers company with its headquarters in a factory in Madrid, and was named general manager of the company. In 1970, OI built a second factory in Seville. In May 1971, Carwood moved from Spain to England as Director of Manufacturing of United Glass, Limited, with 8 factories in England and Scotland, of which Owens, Illinois had purchased 50%. In June 1974, Carwood transferred from England to Geneva, Switzerland, the European headquarters of OI, as Manufacturing and Technical Director, responsible for the manufacturing performance of the OI affiliates and the utilization of the company's technology in some 35 factories in 12 countries, and for finding and obtaining additional business ventures in Europe, the Middle East, and Africa. Before reporting to Geneva, Carwood accepted a 4-month assignment in South Africa and Rhodesia with Consolidated Glass Limited, a 28% affiliate of OI, to evaluate their management and factory organizations, facilities, and manufacturing equipment, and to develop for them a long-term program to improve their company. After the move to Geneva, Carwood's wife Joanne died suddenly and unexpectedly in July 1975 of a massive heart attack at the family home while Carwood was on a business trip in Italy. The couple had 3 sons, Clifford Carwood Lipton III, Thomas Denton Lipton, and Michael Forrester Lipton, born 1946, 1948, and 1950. In May 1976, Carwood married Marie Hope Marney. In October 1982, after 16 years of living in Europe, Carwood returned from Geneva, Switzerland, to the headquarters of Owens, Illinois, in Toledo, Ohio, as Director of International Development. During his final years before retirement, Carwood analyzed potential opportunities for OI worldwide and began programs for the company to obtain contracts to provide glass manufacturing technology in Argentina and India, which were put in effect, and negotiated a contract with government authorities in China to provide technology to the glass industry in that country. Carwood retired on November 1, 1983, but continued under contract with Owens, Illinois as a consultant, continuing to visit China until the contract with that country was implemented. After retirement, he moved to Southern Pines to a home that he began constructing while he was still in Geneva on 2.5 acres that he had bought in 1972. His hobbies were travel, woodworking, model engineering, golf, reading, and working with plants and flowers. When the Band of Brothers book was conceived, Carwood provided a lot of the documentation for author Stephen Ambrose. He also played a role in the documentaries included in the 2001 HBO series. Carwood Lipton passed away in Pinehurst, North Carolina on December 16, 2001 of pulmonary fibrosis.